evening, you guys. Good evening, everyone. I know it's been a minute for me because that was the wrong music. That was not the music I usually play. I have a friend that actually produced some music for me. That was not his. That was not his jam. So,
Got
so
the
I
start
am
music
here.
going.
Right, I had like the starry astrological music going. I'm here with Mr. Rogers, TikTok's own Mr. Rogers. You know who it is. He is just doing it, and I was like, let's get together. We got some things. We got some irons in the fire. We were thinking about doing some other projects and seeing y'all more often and doing some different ideas. So, and then stay tuned for that. But I also have Joshua Hordsford at the, just did I say that correctly?
Yeah, Joshua
Director,
Horford. Hi, everybody. A filmmaker.
filmmaker, and he is also doing it here in Atlanta. And let's talk about highest to lowest, okay? So, I had mixed feelings because Mr. Rogers and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago. We've been trying to get together for the last 2 Mondays, but um I see he said I liked some parts and I said I liked it and then I said wait a minute and I started going through it again and I said okay Crystal, you got more questions than you got. Like, I love this. We were talking about another movie earlier before we went live and I was like I love that movie. I can't say that about highest to lowest. So,
Yeah.
so
I think you missed what I said about it. I mean, I missed what I said about it.
yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna say, go ahead, Mr. Rogers. Go ahead. You go first, then Joshua go.
I feel like when it came to highest and lowest, it felt like, and what I learned after my review, of course, is that it was a remake of an older Japanese movie. I want to say,
Yes.
Akira Kurosawa, I believe.
Yeah, like so that movie itself had some, and I think they said Spike Lee took a lot of liberties from him and everything. And I was like, that's fine, that's cool, but also it didn't translate well to me, and I've always been one of those people that like I don't care if it's a remake or retelling or whatever the case may be. If it still don't translate to me, it doesn't translate to me. Maybe it's not targeted towards me or it's not my cup of tea. That's my type of thing. And this movie was not my cup of tea. I felt like there was no type of sense of urgency. There was no type of tension. Every time that something was supposed to build up, it just immediately got resolved, and it kept moving on from one beat to another. One thing I did like was the old versus young conversation between Denzel and ASAP. Even though I didn't like ASAP's performance at all, I felt like he was a British. There's British actors who can play better gangster roles than him. Daniel Kaluuya probably would have killed this role, and I feel bad for saying that because I like the fact that we actually got an American New York rapper playing an American New York rapper. It just felt like he was trying way too hard, it just like he was trying way too hard to have his New York accent, and it was always like nonchalant. And I was like, I didn't like that, but I did like the concept of, oh, the game really hasn't changed. You not reinventing the wheel. We've been doing this. You're trying to skip the line, and what you did was foul. But okay, cool. Now we got to get into the new age of rap of music and AI and how studios aren't don't really care about the passion of the music. They just looking for the next wave. And I just feel it was funny because they had Ice Spice in it. And I'm like, if anybody that just rode their wave of hype was her, and you put her in a movie about talking about it, I'm like, are you clowning her? Or are you actually trying to make it seem like she came into the game legit? And I'm like, okay. Oh, well, not even just came in legit, but like actually had like
she
something
did
really
the work.
meaningful. Yeah, like she actually did her work when it was just literally just twerking. But I digress. It's some other thing. The music was awful, editing choices, the relationship between the biggest issue was Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright was underutilized. He had like 1-2 scenes that was really good, and that was about it. They pretty much sidelined him for the rest of the movie, and it just feel like it was just all over the place, and I didn't like it. And it's just
And it's frustrating. I'm gonna go to Joshua. I'm gonna let you take because we know how good Jeffrey Wright is. We know how good Denzel is. We know how good Spike is, and that's my thing. Is like the fact that that's why it was so egregious to me is because Crooklyn. I love me some Spike Lee in certain movies, but I was like, oh man, So go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna completely agree. I'm actually gonna take it even like a step further. I'm like I love Spike Lee too. I respect what he's done, but I'm gonna draw a Venn diagram between Tyler Perry and Spike Lee. And just kind of break down, like, they do a lot of things differently, but I do think they do a lot of things similarly too, which ultimately result in bad filmmaking. Like, firstly, starting with like unnecessary musical numbers in the middle of the movie, like that wasn't necessary. Like, both have a lot of cliches in their storytelling, where, like you were saying, like, hey, this was an issue, and then it's resolved it kind of in the next scene, or just even the like some of the father son moments can come off a little cliche and a little they have been done before. I would say bad dialogue, and then, as we said, like editing. I think both of them. I think Spike is a different tier of filmmaker than Tyler Perry, but I do think this is a flawed movie.
Yeah.
This is a flawed movie.
Just
like,
straight up like that. Yeah.
It's a flawed movie, and it's like some of the flaws are like, that's like, you know what I mean? Like, how did that? Yeah.
So let's start here, because one thing I do love with when movies do this is they make the location a cast member.
Yes.
But it was almost too much. So
Yeah.
one thing I have to say, when I love the Puerto Rican Day Parade, that was, and actually
I didn't get that part.
Money drop scene, I said, I knew that there was a second bag. I knew that. So I was like, okay.
I feel like they put too much emphasis on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if they would have just showed that it's a busy time because it's the Puerto Rican Day, and that was it, that would have been cool. But the fact that we had to introduce Anthony Ramos, we had to introduce
with Rosie
Perez
in a Spike,
and we had to introduce the legendary songwriter, pianist. I forgot exactly what he was playing, what instrument he was playing. No disrespect, I just don't know him. I'm not too familiar.
That's not your
with
music
him.
and your culture.
Yeah, that's not my culture. I'm a little ignorant to that, so I will say that. But going to the emphasis of doing that in the middle of what is supposed to be an intense scene, because we know that something's going to go crazy with this drop off, it just bring everything to a screeching halt, and it's just like, okay, now we got to figure out. And now people who probably like don't know anything about the Puerto Rican Day Parade that goes on in New York, it's like, what is happening right now? Why is there so many flags in New York? What is happening? Is it a protest or something?
Yes.
Like what is happening?
It wasn't introduced in a way. And then there's also, for me, it takes me, because it's like a lot of like almost it's like he's cutting back between like almost found footage and then this super high def clear footage, and it's like I don't understand the choice for that, and it's just taking me out of it.
Though. He do that with a lot of his films. Like
he does, but it does, for me, it doesn't add anything in this.
Yeah.
And so I didn't mind him having the Puerto Rican, the piano player part, but he didn't have to introduce Anthony Ramos and Rosie Perez, because one, we know that they've been in his movies, they've worked with him millions of times, so we knew who they were. So I was like, if you just pan the camera,
the piano part, that would
have
been
the
piano part. Rosie Perez took me out of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw it, it took me out of it. I was just like.
So okay, let's go back. So let's. There was another part of the movie where they were talking about the money drop, and the scene with all of the subway scenes. I was like, okay, but one thing I did like, I want to have to say, is the opening scene we know that this is a rich man. I think that
the panning,
yeah,
the
it was
zoom in
gorgeous.
of him.
Yeah.
That was pretty. That was nice.
I did watch it a second time, and I did have to that's a gorgeous shot. That drone or whatever they used, or the crane, or it was a gorgeous shot. That was.
As a filmmaker, I was like, okay, now that's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous shot, and you can see, okay, this man's got money and everything.
Drowning out all the noise to focus on Denzel from that point POV was really good as well. Like just having the noise of the city drown out into having him speaking. It paints him as like a powerful rich man. Like, I'm above it all. And which hits the movie, he's at his highest right now, which technically he really wasn't, because he had like a couple floors over him, but he had the highest point for him. And I get that, but that kind of just takes all the back seat to everything else, where it's like, I don't know, Denzel the one thing I didn't like about Denzel in this movie is when he found out that Trey was taken, he got the phone call, that reaction was so phony and so like, just, they got him, baby, they got him, they got him. It's like I felt like he was going for shock, but not panic, and it just came off as, I'm just reading my lines.
Well, it almost seemed like this happened before. I was like, wait a minute.
I can't fault that on Denzel, but I'm also gonna say that's a right. Like, why? Like, that scene just didn't. It was just like, it should have been more there. Like, it was just like, they got him, and it was, and then when they were interrogating him later in the scene, they were like, he said this, and he said this, and he said this, and I was just like, when you watch that scene, like, he calls him, and he's just like, what? And then he hangs up, and he's just like, they got him, baby. And I'm like, that's how
they shut the music down.
And your son is kidnapped.
To give you the tension, make it silence, like he's out there on the patio. Then he comes in, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, won't you? I would be running into my man and be like, oh my God, they got our baby. Like, you know what?
Somebody in my comments on my review, they was like, what they thought was hilarious was when the police showed up, she stood there for a minute and then came in, and she was like, yeah, can we come in? I was like, what? What? We called you about a kidnapping. Y'all should be rushing in.
Criminal Minds all the time or whatever. And I'm like, when you open the door, okay, we're here. Let's go.
We're here. Let's go to the setup and everything. Are we allowed to come in? Like, no, vampire. Get out of here.
In short, and she's like, I'll move the candelabra and you guys may. I'm like, it just didn't feel.
I'm sorry. I just had to throw that in there.
No. We're jumping ahead because we also got to talk about the police. Now, I want to talk about these cops.
I'm gonna say, like, this is also like a back to the Tyler Perry Spike Lee compare. Like, well, just not even that. Like, I forgot his name. The guy who played the white cop, is it Dennis something?
The mayhem guy.
Yes, from 30 Rock. He's so in a different movie. Like, I was just like, what movie is he in? Like, what? Yeah. I was like, is he supposed to be funny? Is he supposed to be incompetent? Is he supposed to be like,
I have no idea, because he
came
off as racist.
Okay, yeah.
He came off very racist. And then he still did come out racist when he was like at the Puerto Rican Day Parade and everything. Like, I don't know. And then he made it seem like he was on somebody's story side and stuff. I don't know what direction he was really going.
I didn't know. Yeah, I was confused. I was just,
We're jumping ahead because I do want to talk about the interaction, because I could not get a picture of the cops. So I was like, or a good picture of the cops. But I do want to say something about that. The funny thing, and we'll go back to the relationship between Jeffrey Wright and Denzel. I want to talk about that. But the cops, it really seemed like the white cop, the first thing his first line was, "Why do you look familiar?" Or "Do you look familiar?" Because I'm like, okay, Jeffrey Wright has been arrested before, or what, that he's been, that's where you've seen him from. So why don't you just say that? I said, why? And I said, okay, is he supposed to be funny? Like you said, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
And then the black cop was the one really getting in Jeffrey Wright's face. I said, so wait a minute, did they switch? One's good cop and one's bad cop, and then they switched. The black guy's now the bad cop, now the good cop. And so is the black girl, she's just intelligence. She's just in charge of the phones. Like, what's happening here? What
Right,
I couldn't figure out the dynamic either.
And I could not figure out the dynamic. And I was like, what was the editing? That's exactly, I said, with movies like this, I really think, what was on the cutting room floor? Like, what dialogue was cut? That's what I keep thinking. And we're going to go back to the cops when we talk about the end, that end scene running through the streets. We got to talk about them. But what did you guys think between the relationship between Jeffrey Wright and Denzel? What did you think about this?
I thought they had a solid relationship. You know, it seemed like two brothers but in the beginning, but then when the whole thing pop off, and he's just like, bro, I never asked you for anything, and it's like he was begging this man to save his son. And I get that's the whole dilemma, but you shouldn't show them really close in the beginning. It should have been like, oh, well,
you're just my driver.
And Trey's not, I forgot what the other boy's name was.
Kyle.
But he was Kyle. Yeah, Kyle's not my godson. He's not his godson. He's just, he's just the son of my driver and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you do that, then I guess the dilemma is not as strong. But it's just, I don't know, man. It's just the acting.
Go ahead, Josh.
They didn't sell it.
They didn't sell it, and it was really frustrating to me. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
I would agree. It's just like I didn't quite understand. Like it was confusing because it was just like, are we supposed to be on Denzel's side? Like, are we supposed to feel Denzel? Like bro, like that's your like not, you know what I mean? Like and I did hear Spike in an interview, and he said that it was supposed to kind of reflect the class struggle between Black people of upper but I didn't really necessarily feel that tension reflected, because I think like we said, like if you were to have him just be the driver, and then
that would have been sense
just
for that.
made it a different, because it's like I can feel you, man. Like this is your baby. You don't want to sell this company or whatever. But it's just like, man, that's your nephew. You're
right.
And like, James, what would you do, James? I'm just like, he'd probably pay the money for his nephew. Like, what?
Yeah, so that was my issue. And I was watching The Professional Pen, and I sent this link to Mr. Rogers as well. That like in the Black community, my godchild
is my child.
My child. I was like, pay the money. I said, why is this a dilemma? Why
and why he put? I'm probably jumping ahead again though, but on the phone call, why he has so much sauce and so much? Oh man, I ain't got 17.5. Come on, brother. Like, I'm like, why are you talking like this now? You was not talking like this earlier. When it was your son, you was stuttering.
How you want it, baby?
Yeah, like, come on,
barbecue, baked, fried. Like what?
I got the turkey. I got the greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, the hams, jams, house. You name it, bro. But I don't got this. And it's like, bro, you playing with this man's son's life.
It's not cool or relatable.
It's not.
Hold on. And if go back to your point about him saying they're supposed to show the different classes, how are we supposed to know if Jeffrey Wright's character broke? We know he got a prison. We got a record. Cool, but we don't see nothing outside of his life outside of being with King. And he pulled up in a nice car, so I'm assuming that is either his car or your car. And he's riding around in a nice car. He's at your spot. He's living pretty good. Your son is at the same training camp that his son's at. So y'all living pretty good. Y'all best friends. Y'all living good. So how is it a different class system if only thing we see is him living good? He just working with somebody that's over him.
Lives with him in the movie, or like he has a room.
He had like a room. He at least have a room.
Yeah.
So
in the Black community, like he ain't heavy. And my brother, he was down. He had to go sit down, go to prison. He had to go. And to me, I was like, okay, so did you help him get him out of prison? And now you've given him a job to get his life back together. That's your godson. That means that you would pay the money. So when you thought that it was your son, you were going to pay the money. So you were going to liquidate everything. And also, then you find out that it's his son.
Yeah.
And I said, wait a minute. Why is this the dilemma? You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, with Jeffrey Wright, he said he comes in there and he's like, come on, man. You know,
Yeah, please.
we've been through it a
Yeah.
lot.
Yes. And he's like, you're gonna pay me back
But-
17 million. You don't even have.
I got you.
You can't even count to 17. I'm like, what?
I got you.
You making jokes
I
now?
got you. Though. You know, we've been through a lot.
So mean.
We
This
from
the same man. This is the same man that came to you when you was going through it with your son. He
held you down. Cool work.
He broke his silence and went back to the streets.
Yeah.
I can't believe he said I text the streets though. That was.
And did you, okay? So I had to pause the dialogue.
I was like,
that's what I was also like.
I text.
He said, but the dialogue also said, "Who this nigga is?"
Yeah.
On the Lolo though. I was like, sir, what?
The streets text back who this nigga is crazy.
There's so many things. There's so many things in this that I was like to your point, we don't know anything else about Jeffrey Wright's life. Like,
and
why did he go to prison?
Not to cut you off, but I do like that too. If it was supposed to be implied, oh well, he had to break his code to go back to the streets, which is a big deal. I didn't even pick up on that.
Which is a huge thing.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I said, okay, Jeffrey Wright's going to have to go back to the streets to find his son because he loves his son so much that it makes total sense that Jeffrey Wright's going to go back. And I almost thought, okay, are they going to kill Jeffrey Wright at the end because he had to, or is he in on it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was always my
he
thing.
reacted. I thought he was in on it too. Yeah.
Yes. So the first scene with him and his wife, we were like, okay, he doesn't want to pay the money because he's also trying to get his business back. He's also not doing good. He's not telling everybody, but he's trying to sell this thing. He's trying to get the business back on track. He really wants to still be a record producer. They said he had the best ear in the business.
Mm-hmm.
But
did we really see that? Like, did we really see that he had the best ear in the business?
Until we got Travis, ASAP Rocky to the
back, which was back. But I'll also say this too. Like this upon rewatching, it was like because a lot of the music that Denzel was getting hyped to was like 60s, 70s Motown, or like it was just 60s, 70s music, which is like if he's supposed to be like a Teddy Riley or like some type of figure like that, like who maybe doesn't get the love he deserved, but was it clearly it should have been more 90s hip hop, you know, it was something that he was like alleged to have been producing in the film, you know, like the soundtrack didn't even really match it, so I never really felt that.
And the whole I'm not trying to sell because this I'm not gonna try to sell because this studio is just gonna use AI and pimp out our artists and everything didn't really hit like I was supposed to for me because, and this is the even at the end of the movie I knew this is how I knew he was gonna do what he did at the end of the movie though. But I'm like, bro, just take the money. Unless they have like a non-disclosure, can't break their contract, get the artist to come with you, start your own little smaller label, and continue to do that. Or just start a new label and do what you want to do. Because the whole point of you downsizing, the selling was so you can spend more time with your family and stuff. Right. But you're going to turn around and look, I told my wife about this part. And she was like, yeah, we got divorced. You go and take out a loan in your house and you go do this and everything. You liquidate the art. You liquidate all your expenses.
And then don't tell her?
When you have a payday already coming, it's kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That is stupid. That is like, you either sell what you did, which like a lot of business owners do, sell what you did, start something smaller.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put yourself in more debt just to do exactly what you can do with the money you're going to get. That don't make any type of sense. If you're supposed to be this big businessman, why is that the first thing you want to do? Because you put years into it? No. People do that all the time. And it's
I thought he was trying to liquidate himself so that he could buy his homie shares because they weren't going to get the payout. Is that not what it was?
No, he wanted to buy the shares so he could stop the payout. He didn't have the shares to stop
say
the
no
payout because he
completely.
sold them like a few years back when he needed the money. So
Yeah.
it's like, so another thing is, so if you had to sell your shares just to pay off something, that means the business is not doing good.
Right.
But for some reason, these people want it. Sell it, like, because you're gonna put yourself in a bigger hole. So if anything, this kidnapping helped him out. Because he didn't have to do it.
I said just liquidate and start fresh new. Since you got the best ear in the business, start indie artists. You got the indie artist that opened with the guitar that was stalking him.
She was great.
So you can start over again smaller. I just didn't understand why you trying. So now you want to be more in debt by getting your home shares again.
You want to be more in debt because that was exactly what you did. You put yourself in debt. You put a condo that was completely paid off. Y'all living in a great spot that's paid off. You put that on the loan, so now you got to pay on that monthly. You go and you take all the black art that you bought and sold it to whoever, and then you liquidate all your stocks and bonds and everything, which was stuff that, like, if you needed rainy day money or whatever, you can just go ahead and do that. Now you're pretty at age what? At least 65. Starting over from scratch.
60,
right.
Starting over from scratch with a teenager that's about to go to college.
Yes.
And there was so.
And being honest, they showed his stats. He's only 5'10", 165. He's not going pro. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not going pro. Like he's shorter than me. You know what I'm saying?
Mike Bibby.
It wasn't that nice.
So I was really trying to figure this out.
Fox. You ain't going nowhere.
To your point, Mr. Rogers, I was trying to figure this out. I was like, what are they trying to say? He's like a Clive Davis who signed Whitney Houston? Because I love Motown, so I didn't mind the music part of it. I mean, because that's who he relates to at his age. Again,
but
like you said,
because even the Ice Spice, she was just like, I love your work with Mariah. So I was picturing like a 90s, like a Teddy, you know what I'm saying? Like some type of
Teddy
pop, you know what I'm saying? Like 90s, early 2000s, kind of like you know what I'm saying? Like
another thing I didn't like was, okay, this film is supposed to be like based in reality, because I want to say they mentioned current artists' names and stuff, right? But the artists that they got in the movies all have different names. Like it's just like Ice Spice can't use her name. Old girl that sing at the end of the movie. She can't use her name.
I looked her up because
she has a different name.
I thought that song was too much at the end, but her name's not actually Sula.
No, it's something. It's like it starts with an A. I looked her up too, and I was like, and she has a page that kind of directs her to to her face, and then I found her page and I saw that she was, on set and everything, and I was just sitting here like, just use her name. Like, why?
That would have been more interesting, to your point. If Ice Spice was trying to get signed, and my name, that's her persona is Ice Spice and everything with the hair. She just should come in with her look.
Yeah,
but I guess Spike knows that would be not, because she doesn't sing or really. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know, but I mean, maybe but I agree. I would rather have seen her just be Ice Spice as opposed to like this humble, quiet sing rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm 100%. That's a nitpick. That's like something that was just a little bother me. It wasn't like something that would have made or break the movie if the movie was great. But it's just piling on now. That's all it is. Just piling on, because it's a lot of stuff. It's
also, let's just say this, because I'll say this, like, again, I think Spike can be a little ham-fisted about certain things. Like, he's just it's a little bit too on the nose, like a little bit too obvious. But one thing about the heist, like he left with the backpack on both shoulders. I'm like, if he had, like, because he doesn't tell him when the drop is coming. So I'm like, if he has the backpack on both shoulders, the heist doesn't even work.
He don't drop. Like he takes the backpack off for whatever reason, right?
Whatever, but that's what it's not even like.
He told him to drop it, and that's when he took it off, and he was like, "Why? I don't want to drop it." Then don't take it off.
Yeah.
Like, why are you following directions?
In the subway?
in the subway scene, because he never makes it clear. He never makes it clear, like, hey, the drop. He's just they're kind of going back and forth. The dialogue is never like, hey, you're gonna drop it here.
It's like he knew he was gonna have the backpack off in a position where his homeboy stopped the train and it just drops.
Yes, which makes
that is so interesting. I actually thought that was actually a good scene. I said, oh, wait a minute. Are they making A$AP Rocky a smart villain? Because you say, okay, don't take the backpack off. Then you go, and if you're in that part of the subway and then the subway jerks, of course you're going to drop the backpack. Like I felt like he did that on purpose because
and like
he's going to drop through. Yeah, I said, hey,
but
and I said, of
Denzel
course,
also left the house with the backpack on 2 straps, and it was no reason for him to you know what I'm saying? It's no reason for him to be carrying it.
Right, and then with the different motorcyclists, I said, okay, they're all in on it. I said, okay,
that was smart.
I thought that was smart. I said he's trying to make it like the Italian Job or something like that. I said, okay, he's trying to be a smart villain, and then after that, it kind of just went downhill.
I was also. Yeah, I mean, I guess they would have swapped out all the stuff. They would have swapped.
Where all that smartness goes out the window, and you realize he had the boy in his studio doing the same song over and over again. That's already been released.
That's already been
released. It's already dropped.
Denzel just starts listening to it for no reason, like just randomly
for whatever reason.
Yes,
and it's like my thing with the song though. It's like, are you touching it up and re-uploading it? And what are you doing? Like, why are you playing this same? If I was his homie, I'd be like, bro, you got to write another song because I'm tired of hearing this. I don't care how fire the song is. We gotta. You living off of one hit, like, bro. We not about to be like that.
Is he mad because that song he thought was gonna make him? It was gonna make him or break him. That was gonna be the breakout song.
That was his thing. He just kept going. It was like he was in the because it was like, and we noticed because the son was like, yeah, they just kept playing it over. And over it was like, why? And why do you have him at the studio?
At the studio.
I said, so you just put him in the bathroom and you left him there?
You couldn't rent a storage unit for like 30 for $1 a day.
So what was even worse than leaving him in the bathtub was the one thing, but then to me, when they found him after the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and he's like in a park on the swings, and
they wouldn't get up and walk home or nothing.
Yeah, he's just sitting in the. Okay. I'm glad y'all brought it because I was same.
Disrespect for the Jeffrey Wright son. Yes. Disrespect for the Jeffrey Wright son. They didn't give him no chance to act.
And
then also I was just like, yo, the cop. If we can take it back to the cops when they were interrogating him, I'm like. I mean, it just felt unrealistic. They're just like, oh, no, we gotta give him more. And then they're like, he's like, I'm giving you this song. He starts rapping the song, and they're like, we don't know.
That could be AI.
You're just like a beat up kid. He has PTE or something.
So wait, you're talking about the interrogation, the first interrogation, when he first got in the hospital, and he's saying. And they keep asking him and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. And Jeffrey Wright's son was like, or Jeffrey Wright was like, wait a minute. When it was his son, y'all just wanted to tuck him in bed at night.
Still,
keep pushing. Give me some time with my son.
Like he's a criminal. Yeah,
it's just obvious. Like this is just.
Which is again, it does.
That's bad writing.
Have tropes of that class thing. But it doesn't. It's not. It's so poorly executed that it never. You know what I'm saying? That
bad writing.
Bad writing and bad.
Okay. So bad going back to so now we're talking about these police officers. They didn't investigate who was one of Denzel's hit list or who was an enemy, because to me. It's so obvious. So the second interrogation, when
it was so obvious that he had a personal relationship with Denzel. That no one was like, "Hey, did you ever interview this guy or offer him a deal?"
Let's go down your list of your last few. Let's go back by 3 or 4 months of everybody that you had on your schedule to listen to music, and it's go down your playlist and everything, and we'll check off and we'll go interview every one of them to see just to see what happens, just to get a feel of it. No, we don't do none of that. We got none of that.
Investigate their history. Let's investigate their history.
That's too much fucking work.
Talk about like
because then when Denzel comes in the second time, they're like, we're interviewing him here. I'm like, what are y'all asking him?
I'm like, bro, this man is out of 17.5 because y'all couldn't do your job. Of course, he's gonna take shit in his hands.
That's how that happened. They look at I was like, well, wait a minute, this is the same thing they do at SVU. Like, okay, listen to this song. You said that he was playing this song over and over again. Is this the right song? So when they do that, then they're like, it's too far.
Yeah, this is too much. You're really
obvious sense.
You're really off base here, Mr. David King.
But like he said, y'all got the best ears. I heard him on the phone. They heard him too. They listened to him too. And they were like, you know what? They don't sound like. And what made me mad about Denzel was they were like, all right, we'll put it in our system and we'll cross-reference the voice. I don't need no AI to tell. I got the best ears. I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea, Denzel. Like, so you can have your warrant and proof that you can go in there. And it's just like, yo,
there were so many things. There were so many things.
Stupid.
So they didn't go by what Denzel said. They didn't listen to the song. They didn't investigate. Just investigate the kid. If that's the case, and he like everybody else in the world is sending Denzel music, investigate him. See, right? Mm-hmm. So then Jeffrey Wright and Denzel leave the hospital room. Yeah. Okay,
the streets is back.
So crazy because you already don't like Jeffrey Wright. And you've now moved from Denzel to Jeffrey Wright. So you police officers, not one of you wanted to put a tail on where these guys are going. Yeah. You guys did not want to follow them to see where they're going, to find out where, if this is from the old hood, wherever. And then, so when they go to the studio, there's no cops around. It's just vacant. The streets are just vacant. Nobody is called the wife to say, has your husband come home? He hasn't come home.
We might be a little worried about it. He's gonna do something a little stupid, Yeah,
exactly. Like, nobody's talking to her. Nobody's investigating Jeffrey Wright, who his friends are in the streets or where the old hood is. I was like, wait, where are the cops? Where are the cops? So, and then Jeffrey Wright comes out okay, let's go back to, now they're in the conversation. Denzel.
They go to the girlfriend's house first.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
He get the text. Jeffrey like, yeah, the streets talking. They know who he is, and he's from our hood. He's from where we grew up at.
Yeah.
Actually, right down the block. I was like, what kind of convenience?
Yes.
I get it. What you trying to say, the duality of it, but come on, man.
Come on, bad writing, police. Bro, yeah, like
they get there and they have the conversation. She's like, oh my God. No, first, this is what tripped me out. First, she's like, oh, you're the guy for the news. I recognize you, da-da-da. And then she says, well, my boyfriend adores you. So you already knew who the fuck he was.
Right.
Talk about the news. Like, you could have said, oh my God, Mr. King, we was praying for you to find your son. My husband.
He doesn't jump into his arms as a groupie or anything.
What are you doing here?
Right. And then she doesn't even go run into the bedroom and call A$AP Rocky and be like, yo,
your favorite person here.
Is
bro, here. My wife would have jumped on like, oh my God, let me call him. Yo, you gotta get home now. He's here. I'm like, no. You don't do that. You don't call. And then he sees the bracelet, and I'm like, okay, you take a picture of the bracelet. That's proof right there. Go.
Another thing they could have done was at least another thing they could have done when the money grab, and the A$AP Rocky said, put your wife's bracelet in there. Why didn't they put a tracker in the bracelet? I thought that
they put a tracker on the money. But they didn't put a tracker on in the bracelet.
I was also like, how did they? I guess they just intended. But how did they remove the tracker from the bag? They never. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
did they put a tracker on the bag? No, think about
they
it.
said that they was a tracker in the money
There
for
was
the
supposed to
bag.
be a
That's how
tracker.
the
Yeah,
cop was following him. And
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So it was just, that's why I was just like, I don't like, they're trying to make him
Like,
smart, but I don't feel like they've put in the work to kind of.
Yeah, because if it was a tracker in the bag, even if they switch, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just like, or even if I guess maybe you dump all of the money out and then you put the tampon, but it's just like, I don't know, it's something to show us that would have happened.
They just switched bags and that was it.
I thought they were switched bags, but to me, even if you switch bags, that bracelet. Excuse me. I'm gonna hold on. That bracelet was badass. I would have held on to that bracelet. They should have put a tracker on the bracelet too, because whoever you give that to, even a pawn shop, you're gonna find that. You're gonna find that.
Also think it was a kind of a missed opportunity to talk about. Because I thought the part where he was like, "Yo, yeah, your wife be flashing that bracelet all over the Instagram and da da da. You know she love flexing." I was like, that's a genuinely scary thing because people do that. And I thought it was you know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, if they would have kind of played up like this element of like, yo, he's
been stalking them the whole time.
Yeah, or maybe even Denzel's character, or because of Denzel's son's character, he's on the internet more, or you know, something to kind of latch us more into like this whole
to relate to
psychology of like, you know, he's watching them every day and he knows who this guy is. And that's a real, because sometimes people, yo, I'm going live right now, I'm at this place.
You
know, that's a real thing. Like,
that's what happened to Kim K. That's what happened to that's what happened to, you know, that's
what happened to I think that would happen to Dolph. If I'm not, that happened to Dolph. R.I.P. Dolph. I think he was saying something about going to get cookies.
Yep.
And so it's like
it's crazy. Absolutely. So that absolutely would have given us a better relatability to ASAP. You're like, who is this guy that every time I'm, you know, at a red carpet, he's kind of in the background or something like that. There's so many. We could have wrote this.
It was one where I want to say they didn't do a good job at like making him any type of menacing or anything like that, because for one, we didn't hear him in the first call, and then when he got the second call, he sounded like a toddler. He sounded like, I guess they were literally trying to play up the YN part, but at the same time, like, bro, ASAP is old. He might look young, but he's older. He's like 30 something.
And even in the song, he says he's 35, and I'm like, I forgot ASAP is. It should have been.
It should have been a younger person. It should have been a younger person,
or let ASAP. Because I think
ASAP.
like kind of like I don't think ASAP is a great actor, but I do think there is something.
That's what he was good in Dope.
I gotta rewatch Dope. I need to rewatch Dope.
He was good in Dope.
I will say, like, I think there could be something menacing about ASAP that I think he could channel. You know what I'm saying? That is just like a, you know what I'm saying? Like because he is from New York. He is from, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is a certain, like, like, I think there could be a menacing element, but, you know, I got to rewatch Dope. I've never thought ASAP was a super strong actor. So,
I really want to go to this chase scene at the end.
Maybe even Joey Badass would have been good for the,
What did y'all think of this chase scene at the end? Let's go back to the conversation first. The conversation between Denzel and A$AP Rocky.
This is some Tyler Perry went to Morehouse type of dialogue. I read Shake. I mean, I thought.
Why was he rhyming?
Yes.
Why was he rhyming? I didn't like that at all.
Yes,
like, why?
Yes.
He could have had a good conversation.
Yes, you could have. Yes, and even in parts of the rhyme, there were like nuggets of conversation of like I was like, this would be a good conversation between like a father and a son, or like a father-son moment, or like, we're from the same hood, we from the same area, but it just missed the mark.
It's like
I got my blicky too, youngin. You don't want to mess with old man because he will put you in the like what?
I'm like, bro, you don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to negotiate. You supposed to be this business mogul, grabbing, talking people, giving them the 360 deals and everything. You come on now, like you out here trying to intimidate this man in his studio.
Yes.
And like I felt like the conversation should have went more like, oh, you wanted my attention, you got it now. So what's up?
Yeah.
Use this as the opportunity to sell yourself to me. This is this is your elevator speech.
Yes.
And it
that's
just
what I thought they were gonna go with it.
That's what I thought it was gonna go with too.
That's what it should have been.
But it went with his pissing competition. And I was like, the fuck?
I want to go back to when Denzel came up with the gun behind the producer and as soon as the guy and told the producer to leave. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. He just left? And he didn't get his
They made it seem like this was a trap studio.
Yes.
It was in the basement. It was under the projects. This is a trap studio. But the engineer act like this was an enterprise where like, oh my God, it's the guy with the gun. Like, bro, you in the hood. You ain't never seen a gun before. Like, what the fuck?
That gunpoint before? Or just I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you didn't hang back or anything.
Text the other bros.
Somebody in
my
here.
impression was this was the homeboys making they come up. Like, we don't need the fuck. We don't need no label. We're gonna do it on ourselves. We in the trap. We got our own stuff. We use our money to buy, set up our own studio. We got the homie, he making beats. So the engineer should have been part of the game where it's like, oh, bet I'll leave right now, but best believe I'm coming back.
Yeah,
that's what I thought too.
With the bros. No, he was a bystander, and I was like, that's insane. They could have had this down. They could have had this in the city if that was the case.
Yeah. Right, because I thought, okay, so one, he's gonna get downstairs and try to call his boys, and Jeffrey Wright's gonna come up behind him.
Right there.
And then secondly, he didn't come back with his boys, or the police didn't come. I was like, what's happening? So the police just let this happen this whole time. So the conversation just went on way too long.
Yes.
You're right. The conversation between you're not okay. So sell yourself. Why should I? You've kidnapped my son. You kidnapped my son, my best friend's son.
You kidnapped the wrong person.
You kidnapped the wrong.
And you've been making the same song for 6 months, sir. I don't. Why should I? Like what?
Why you did everything wrong?
You know what I'm saying?
You did everything wrong.
Why should I sign you? You know what I'm saying?
The best part,
your baby mama has no street smarts. You know what I'm saying?
None. Like your baby mama ain't got no street smarts. You didn't know how to sell. You can't even. You don't even know how to reach to my receptionist apparently because I don't know who you are. You've been selling the same song for 6 months to a year, just revamping it with nothing else new.
Different ad lib.
You come up with this elaborate scheme and snatch the wrong kid because of a headband.
Yes. Immediately, and that was so, and that annoyed her. I'm gonna go back.
That annoyed the hell out of me. Now, why they put so much emphasis in this green ass headband?
I knew. I said,
yep, there it is.
As soon as it was the headband that they found, I said, "Oh, they got the wrong kid. It's Kyle." I was like, because I knew. Because remember, in the beginning scene, Kyle took his headband. I said,
took his headband and put it on, and I'm like, okay.
I also
come on,
yeah,
but
I also
that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what made me tie this into reality. Because why is Rick Fox there? And why is Rick Fox, but Ice Spice is not Ice Spice, and A$AP Rocky not A$AP Rocky? That what made me mad. That what made me mad. Like, why you have Rick Fox playing legendary Laker Rick Fox?
Yes, retired
but we can't
player, now coaching the youth. Totally makes sense. He's playing Rick Fox. What the?
Who was coaching in New York, and also I didn't. Yeah, and it was also like too much of this like. Oh, it's New York. We're the
New York Boston.
Like,
fuck Boston.
F Boston. How can you wear that green headband in my house? What the fuck are you talking? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? What, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was kind of like, I guess it was there to make, again, New York is a character in the movie, so you got to throw in their delusional fan base of wanting greatness again, and I'm like, y'all about just as bad as the Cowboys.
Well, so the thing is, I actually like seeing like Nick Turturro, John Turturro's brother. I like seeing him because one, he's a great actor, but I was like, I wish they'd given him some more meat. Yes. I was like, give him something to chew on, give him something instead of just an obsessed fan. That was just another cameo. I said, don't make him another cameo.
It didn't. Yeah, It didn't, and it also didn't ring true. I mean, maybe like I don't know. It just didn't. It felt kind of just like, oh, this is like some New York propaganda, where it's just like, man, like I feel like the Giants are probably a bigger deal overall than the Yankees are, and like I don't know. It just didn't. It just or maybe why not make it the Knicks, or you know what I'm saying? Like why I don't know. It just didn't feel.
I ain't gonna lie. After watching that during COVID with Side Talk, New York City was going across like a bing bong. I was seeing all that for a minute. I believe it. Like it just seemed believable that New York would just randomly scream at somebody, Yankees, Mets suck. Like what? Huh? Like, like I don't know you, sir. But it did. But it's not. I feel like I get what you're saying because it don't really feel like its place. It has the place in this movie.
Yeah, it didn't feel.
It was a lot of filler.
Yeah,
it was a lot of filler. If you take out the New York City scenes, if you take out if you cut the last conversation down 5 minutes, this movie would probably not make feature.
Cut a lot of the love to the city stuff too. Like I think a lot of this homage to the city stuff is pointless. It
would not make feature length. It would probably be around about anywhere between 80 to 85 minutes.
See,
and then it would be like a short.
I disagree. I'm like, if you cut that stuff, I think I like this movie because I'm like, it probably puts it right at like 90 to 100 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But but it probably makes it a stronger movie. And you add in some of the stuff I think we were talking about earlier. Like,
you got to take some of this out. Add some more scenes with Jeffrey Wright.
Well, I think also just the ultimately the Denzel for me came off very unrelatable and arrogant because of how I'm just like, he's your god. Like, I don't even understand why this is a thing. He's your godson. If the relationship was always just like, this guy works for me and he's black and he's from the hood, but I'm you know what I'm saying, that don't got nothing to do with me. Our sons are the same age. That is
like
that's a stronger movie.
I feel like they also should have had his "Don't Forget Where You're From" part in it. They didn't have like "Don't Forget Where You're From." Yeah. They tried to with his wife telling him how he used to walk down the bridge and stuff like that, and then that's why he was listening to A$AP song because he went back walking down the bridge and he would listen to the song and everything. But it just didn't come off as a pivotal moment in the story.
I gotta interrupt you here. That I wrote that down. That is what I wanted to see. And if they had put that in there, I was like, when she reminisced about that, I was like, oh, this is gonna bring him back again to who he used to be when he was first started producing, when he first started loving music and everything. And then he's going to, start grassroots and cut out all the money and just go for developing artists. I wanted that I would have been like, okay, cool, that's what she explained it, but that's what I wanted to see.
And I think they tried to do that with the music video.
No, I didn't think they tried to do it with
the music video. He walked across the bridge, listen to A$AP.
He walked across the bridge. He listened to it. They go get A$AP. He gets locked up. And then they were like, he wants to see you. And I felt like they was trying to implore him going to see him with, he's getting back to the streets. He's getting back to this person that's making music, whatever. He might have a terrible background, but he has a love and a passion for the music. But his face looked like he was just annoyed the whole damn time while he was sitting there watching the music video.
You mean A$AP Rocky's music video?
A$AP, yeah.
Okay, so I got an opinion about that part. I don't think that's what that was. But
maybe not. But I feel like that's what they try to do.
He was annoyed that whole.
He was annoyed. He was just annoyed.
I wanted to see more of that. This movie was 2 hours and 13 minutes. To your point, I feel like
it's a long movie.
They could have cut out like the last 13 minutes. They could have cut out the last 20 minutes, or just develop more Jeffrey Wright. That relationship between him and Denzel, or the relationship between the sons. I did like the scene with him and his son. Now, again, y'all, we're all over the place, but him and his son, when they were in the bedroom. I like this. I like both scenes.
I love
with him
that
and his
scene.
son.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that scene.
That was a good
I love
scene.
that scene. Because that's the best
But-
thing about the movie. He was like, "Don't you?" He's like, "There's only one man in this house." I said, "Oh shit, look at that Denzel."
Yes. You know, he was calm and
But
everything,
I was-
and he said, "Watch your mouth." But then
I
his
also
son
wasn't
got
on
upset.
Denzel's side.
Not at all.
So it's just
No.
like,
Not at all.
yeah.
Not at all. But I did like the father-son dynamic right there.
Mhm,
That
mhm.
scene was good, but I also was not on Denzel's side. I was like, this
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. If
Like,
this
he's
is just
right.
some guy,
Yeah, like
is this a
it's,
movie
yeah,
driver?
like his
Then
son's
don't-
right.
then-
Like, why, you know?
Mm-hmm.
right. But I did like that scene between the son, and I did like what the son said at the end. I can't remember exactly
The coldest, the best ear, coldest heart.
yes.
Mhm.
I did like that part. But
I was over the movie by that part.
but to me,
Man, it's a little too on the nose.
I wasn't on Denzel's side.
No, I was just man, listen,
Him, the
that
wife,
music-
and the son coming in and said we're going to give him the money, like they had to all confer. I didn't understand
Yeah.
that.
And,
What-
and Denzel was like, "Tell him, son, tell him."
Ah.
I'm just like, that you're doing the right thing, and
like it's Christmas,
Right.
like it's Christmas.
yeah,
Like, oh yeah, we got the gift for
we're gonna
you.
pay the ransom for our nephew.
For my nephew, my best
Yeah.
friend.
My nigga, why did it have to
He
take you this
went
long
to
to do
God
it?
and yeah, what the?
Yeah,
And I don't
okay,
blame
so-
Jeffrey for wanting to move on from him. We're like, yo, nah, I'm good. I ain't
I'm
coming back
good,
with
man. You show
Like,
me your
I'm-
true colors.
Thanks. But he said it like the most humblest way. I was like,
Yeah,
yo,
he
fuck
did.
you.
So let's go to this end scene, this chase. But before this chase, Jeffrey Wright pulls up in the car. What made me mad because he had 2 guns, and I said, "Now, come on, Jeffrey Wright."
And they had to introduce both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Made me mad.
So I was like, "Wait a minute, is this the movie 2 guns now? What, okay, you went from Italian Job to 2 guns. What's happening? Why are you doing this?" So now Jeffrey Wright's okay. I get it. You're pissed, but then you don't show up outside as a lookout. You show up in the car,
You just chilling in the car.
Chilling in the car.
and then you get shot in the eye.
yeah.
When
No,
you had
he gets
No,
shot
he
at.
glass
And glass get in his
Oh,
eye.
he
gets
has
in
the
his
glass?
eye, and he's
And he has to
immobilized.
tell us
Yes.
100 times that he has
Yes.
glass in
It's
his eye.
glass
Glass
in my
I got
eye.
glass. I got glass. They're literally the chase scene starts and they still on him saying, glass mine. I'm like, bro, we get it. Get the
We
fuck
get it.
on to
We
the
get it.
get the fuck on to the chase
And then
scene.
you're on then Denzel's on the subway by himself, and that's it.
Yes. That's
ASAP
also I'm just
Rocky?
like,
And he
There's no one else in-
and he whoops ASAP ass.
Yeah.
That's
And
it. That's
yeah.
and
that's
so
the
the
end of
cops
the
are
movie. That's it.
behind you.
There's no one else on
Nothing.
the subway
Yeah.
These
Subway,
cops have
New
been
York.
pissed off.
in New
New
York,
York City. There's
at
nobody on
1
the subway.
o'clock in the morning or so,
Yeah.
give or take. You know,
There's
what I'm saying?
literally the
1:30 at
city
night.
that never sleeps. There's
Yeah.
nobody on the
There's
subway.
no one else on, and also the red herring between the two is just like, am I gonna run in the car or run out of the car? It's
Nah,
like, damn.
I hate it. Before we even get to before Jeffrey Wright got shot, when the first shot popped off from the studio, I
wait.
hated the scene where he was just like, yeah, he just bow and he run and they focus on the bullet shot, but they don't show. We know Denzel didn't get shot, but they don't show him getting shot. Next thing you know, he's coming out of stuff. I'm like, why focus on the bullet shot, on the bullet hole? Why do
But
that?
with that whole scene, and you guys, we talked about this for a while. That whole argument between Denzel and ASAP Rocky, I thought the best part was the fact that ASAP shot first. I said, okay,
I get that, but the focus on the bullet hole, the thing,
right.
like, because it was blurring and it goes in the picture, and I was
Yes.
just like, oh my god, that's so
It was a little,
it's so stupid.
Well, y'all,
Let's
there's
just
so
go.
many things.
But yeah, we
like,
can
and
go
then
back. We
okay,
can-
so
we can go
now
back after the chase.
after the chase, this music video, I actually thought that this was all in ASAP Rocky's head because, sir, you're going to prison for a long time.
When the
But
BBL
you-
showed up, I tuned out.
yeah.
I tuned out.
But I feel
I was
like, I
like,
said, wait a minute, is this his alter ego now? Because he, even though he's in prison, he still thinks that he's going to be. I'm giving you the best opportunity. He still thinks of himself
Yeah,
with
Which is-
women and twerking and everything all around him. I said, this is your ego. This is your it's all in his head. You understand what I'm saying? So, and a lot of people had an issue. I was online, and a lot of people had an issue with the music video. After all of this, now you're going to give us a music video. I actually did not mind Spike giving us a music video because Spike will do that type of stuff. Like at the end and certain things, like at the end of when he School Days and he yells, "Wake up!" Like he just
I feel like that's a little more warranted though.
Video, that's just that's the mind of A$AP Rocky's head. So you're seeing in his mind.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You know, I'm in prison.
Kind of,
yeah. I get that. But the dolly scene shouldn't have been in it. I feel like his iconic dolly shot where they just, you know, it's like he's floating. That should have been for something else. I feel like that should have been. 100%. I feel like that should have been when he found out. Not when he found out that his son died, but when not died, but got kidnapped. But when it was revealed that it was Kyle instead of him, I felt like somewhere he should have had that dolly scene, just thinking about his choice that he had to make of
that would have been
paying or not. I feel like that would have been a better use of the dolly scene.
Yes, but I totally agree with that. So I totally agree that somewhere else it just didn't make sense where that was. You're right. It's just
I agree with that.
It's one thing that I'm on the fence about when it comes to the jail A$AP going to jail. And it's like it's either Spike know exactly how the internet works or he has no idea. There's nowhere in between, because you have it where the internet plays a big role in this movie. They in the first police interview with the police and Denzel and the wife, she actually uses up to pull up the new rule, the new law that they have when it comes to teenagers missing and stuff like that. And they zoom in on that. Not even
a law in New York.
Yeah.
and it's a California law, and it's also like a
not Keisha.
It's also I don't understand. Like Anyway, I thought that was like ill time too, because I was just.
I feel like it was just like did you just Google that yourself? You just Google kidnappings and now you're an expert, or are you in law? And it's like, so I didn't really know that, but anyway,
that is true. That is a that is a law, because a lot
of it's only in California. It's not in New York. It's not a New York thing.
I didn't think it was in New York either. I was like, I think it's only in Georgia. I was like, where is that?
But I also didn't understand why it needed to be in the movie. Like
that too. Like it made no sense.
It was just like, what?
So you have the drop where everybody calling him Black Panther because he dropped the bag.
Black Panther of the Boogie Down Bronx.
And I'm like, why? Like, do they notice it? Like, somebody recognized him. I know it's a high profile case, people talking about and everything, but they don't know he's dropping off money to save the son, or whatever. They didn't know that. They don't know the inner works of this deal. They just assuming. They were like, if anything, it was like, oh shit, he dropped the backpack. What happened to the backpack? Yeah, and then so now you got that. But then as soon as A$AP is released, he's popular now for doing the thing that I was happy that Denzel prevented.
Yes.
So, and I know there's because the reason I say he's either a genius or he don't know how it works, because it's either you love the person that's you love the person that prevented something, and you got the haters that want to see them fall from grace, and you have that. So the people that's supporting A$AP are not really supporting him. They're supporting the fact that maybe he got one over on somebody that they hated. And that's the wrong side of the aisle that you should be on, right? Like, so it's like the whole situation that going on now with, I'm not going to speak that up, but because I don't want to make that about this, but it's just like you got one side, this side going at each other, but there should have been another opposing side of saying, fuck A$AP, fuck young felon.
Right.
It should have been the opposing side say he needs to be in jail forever, this and third. You can't just have the crowd that loves him out there, because there's always an opposition.
Yes,
there'll always be an opposition.
They tried to make it another dilemma. They tried to make it another dilemma.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
If you save him, then you'd be amazing and you'd get all these followers if you save him. But I was like, he'd save him because it's the right thing to do. I was like,
Right.
what?
Right.
I was like, if you do this,
It's
if
good
you
business.
money,
Because that's one. It was like he was like, because his partner was like, can you imagine how this would look if you just let your driver's son die?
yes,
Yeah.
You're gonna lose business. And he was like, oh, it'll go over. That's the internet.
Yeah.
It'll blow over.
exactly.
Like, what? No, you'll forever be known as that.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm like, bro, you don't understand how the world works. They remember more of the bad than the good.
So okay, okay. So at the end, so they have the last conversation, or I'm sorry, the last song, and we talk more. We see the son wants to be
Partner.
the A&R and everything, and the son wants to have a stake and everything. So what did you guys see? Did you guys like that scene? The last scene, was it about the music? What did you guys think of that last scene?
No disrespect, Josh, you there?
No, go ahead.
Okay. No disrespect to this young lady because she has a beautiful voice. The song was not gonna hold you. I was tapped out. I was tapped out after the music video. I was tapped out after the conversation they had in the jail cell and everything. I was ready for this movie to be over with. I did not care for this song. This she got a beautiful voice. I heard a little bit of it, but I just didn't care at this point. So
we talking about the ending.
I just don't have no opinion towards it at all. I looked her up. I found her. I think her name is like Aaliyah. I want to say it's like Aaliyah something, but I was like, I'll give you a follow. I do that part about it. And if you drop more music, I would give it a listen to. But I'm glad you got the exposure. I just didn't care anymore. I just didn't care. I was so ready for this movie to be over with.
I thought the song was a little. It was just too much. It was a little ham-fisted. It was a little like, all right, bro, like. And I mean, it was a good song, but it was just like it was a whole song. It was like like 4 minutes, and it's just like, and I was just like, I don't. It just felt ill-timed, or just like it just felt like it was just like it wasn't really necessary because he didn't really do a lot of music stuff for real in the movie. So for him to come back and then sign this artist, it didn't feel like a real payoff for me.
Yeah, I definitely think he could have cut the song. I thought it was to showcase her, which she has a beautiful voice, and I really I'm glad she got the exposure. I thought it was to get her the exposure and the pianist, the guy that played the piano, the exposure. But
he was cheesing like a motherfucker too. But he was like,
he's like,
I'm gonna show out.
Right, exactly. I said, oh, he's about to show off. So that part of it, but at the same time, I don't know how necessary it was. I don't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't that. So, okay, last question. What did you think was the biggest issue? Do you think it was the writing?
I think it.
Editing. What did you think was the biggest?
I wanted to watch the original film. It like the reviews on it were pretty good, and just hearing Spike talk about like the class differences, and funny enough, like the original is a Japanese. It's I think it's the guy who did Seven Samurai. Kurosawa, and it that film, but he's a shoemaker in that one. Like it's like the CEO of like this shoe company and like his driver, which funny enough, like I thought that would have played just as well, but like I think it was the writing. I think I'm thinking of another, like two films for me come to mind: Inside Man and then The Black Klansman. Inside Man, I think, showed New York without trying to shove New York down your throat. And then Black Klansman, I think, is another Spike Lee film that I think is very well done, that he didn't write, but he directed very well.
Right.
And I think I think this one just kind of missed the mark because the story, maybe some stuff was cut, but yeah, the story just kind of didn't hit on some of the things that I felt like it was supposed to hit on.
I agree, but if I had to point out to something, it was the writing. It was the writing. No, it was at no point. This movie was boring and it's just drug. And there's no amount of directing that you can do because you're going based off the script and the
Yeah.
scenes that are set up and the set placement stuff. Only thing Spike
No,
really
I said
added
the writing
was
too.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. The only thing that Spike really set up was the how he was going to display it and add in his style and flavor of New York and everything. Did he add too much? Absolutely. But I feel like he added too much of that because he was overcompensating for the writing. I feel like he wanted to do a little bit more entertainment. That's why you get Anthony Ramos and Ruza Perez and the pianist. That's why you get the police officer giving us a history lesson of the subway track and everything and how they're gonna do the drop. Because in between that, it's like, okay, if that's, I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the script in front of me, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to go to Denzel with the money, talking to him about the train, and then they execute or whatever, having that flair of the police officer talking, and they have the background of the subways and the different logo, the different style of the architecture or whatever of the place and everything, adds a little bit more versus somebody just saying it and then just putting it, on paper and everything.
100%.
So you have that, but the writing, every issue was immediately resolved. You have the kidnapping. Oh, it's not my son. Okay, no, let me stop. Let me go further than that. You have, oh, I need your help with buying these selling me your shares so I can stop this buyout. Nah, I don't know. Come on, please say yes. Please say yes. Please say yes. All right, guy, I'll do it. Like, goddamn, like you didn't threaten him with anything. You didn't say, oh, well, I can make it more interesting for you. Nothing. You just literally just beg with a microphone with a microphone in your hand, and you got it. Okay, cool. You got that going for you. You at your highest now. You get the call, baby. They got him. Not even 12 hours later, he's back home.
Yep.
And then now you get to
and there's a whole dilemma of like, hey, well, I don't want to risk everything I have for this kid who's not my own,
like mine. And then,
but then it's like he gets into it with his kid the night before, and he's like, him and his kid, oh, I'm the only man in this house, and he's just like, pay the fucking money, which is just like, I don't even know it's a question, but it's just like, then the next scene is literally like, tell him, son, we got a deal. Just like we don't see how he came to, and then he's going in for the hug. I'm like, yo, you hug this Denzel doesn't deserve a hug. You know what I'm saying?
Even before that, you had. I wanted him and Jeffrey Wright to have a little more back and forth with you just throw this on top of it, that's on top of it, and you want that. He took his ring off and put on that. You can have all that, and then I wanted him to be like, no, you come here because I've given everything to you, and this is what I need, and and have a little more feeling. No, resolve
to their relationship.
He dropped the bag. He gets hit up. We didn't talk about this, but the board members come to him and say, hey, we gave you that money with the idea that you were gonna, sell or something, but now you don't have our money. The money wasn't insured apparently.
And you have 2 days.
You got 2 days to give a week. No, it was like a week or something.
2 weeks.
You got a week. You got a week.
We're liquidating all your stuff.
Yeah. And we're gonna take everything. Oh, damn, cool. I automatically know who this person is now. And we just so happen to know the exact person, to know his exact whereabouts. I'm like, bro, god damn, bro. There's no type of conflict in this story.
Right. And honestly,
everything is resolved.
You literally just reminded me of something else that got on my nerves. Okay, so we got Denzel, we got Jeffrey Wright, we've got A$AP Rocky, but we also have Wendell Pierce, another amazing actor that only had one scene.
And his first line was, "You remember that viral internet moment that went famous or something like that." And I'm just like, all right, like
when
come
I
on.
tell you, Wendell Pierce is amazing.
Oh, 100, 100.
Well, was great fucking actor.
Yes,
can stand 10 toes with anybody, right?
I think he could have played the Jeffrey Wright role, or the you know what I'm saying? Like that would have been an interesting, or just Jeffrey Wright. Any of those three men could have swapped the roles, and then they would have been great. I think Wendell is, but super underutilized.
Denzel was, Jeffrey Wright's underutilized, and I thought Also, I would have liked to have seen Jeffrey Wright lose his religion because maybe he became Muslim in prison because of whatever he did.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. He came Muslim because he was in prison.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah.
And 5%. He got 5% of stuff on his wall too. Yeah. So he's
that's right. He did. So now your son is missing. That's going to cause you to lose your religion. And where's the conflict?
Where is the real?
Like, Allah, you tested me. Like, this is like a huge test or whatever. And it's like
the only conflict we have is like the guy's like, hey man, you gotta pay for this. Like, and Denzel's like, nah, I don't want to pay for this kidnapping. And it'll and if I let him get killed, it'll blow over in a couple days.
Yeah.
No, what? Yeah. There were so many things.
I would say the writing too.
I definitely would say the writing was written by Alan Fox. Spike Lee directed it, but there were so many just throughout the movie that could have been just explained so much more and just given us so much more. It was a piece of something here, and I was just very, very frustrated. So
and Spike is also a writer too. So I mean, of course, certain things on a production timeline you can't really change around at the but it's just like certain scenes. I'm just like
he could have swapped something out.
You could tell him to at least the scene where the son gets kidnapped. Tell Denzel to improv that or something.
Yeah.
Well, and this is another thing I thought.
Did that jive Turkish slang.
You just brought it up, but the kidnapping scene we didn't actually see. It's implied, of course, but this is New York at a basketball game or whatever in front of a bodega because they went to get the bodega. Nobody saw you.
No, or just it. I don't know. Like I guess so, and that's what I was also saying too. Like the kid, so he went back to camp, and then it didn't really make because it was just like okay. After it was all revealed, it was just like okay. Like he had on his headband, the only identifier that they had was the headband. They ran up on him because he had the headband at the bodega, and the other kid didn't see it. And because he took so long, I guess he thought he went back to camp. But the police also came in and said, "Hey, like he's been like your son's been kidnapped." But I'm like, the son would have had to have. The son was apparently the only person who saw it, so it would be no way to confuse like the two sons.
They also questioned Rick Fox too.
Yeah. So
it's like he was back at the dorm while y'all was questioning. Rick Fox?
And it's also, but it's also like because I'm like, did ASAP kidnap both of them and then he only let the other one go because of the headband? That's the only way that story makes sense.
He didn't kidnap him because
he only kidnapped one.
He only kidnapped one because he said I got tired of waiting for him.
They would have been confused. It's
which is crazy. Which is crazy. Trey, you say he went to a different store. You got tired of waiting for him, and you go back to the dorm. You don't think it was like okay, maybe I know we'll get in trouble because we wasn't supposed to leave, but hey. My boy not back yet,
right?
And I'm pretty sure it wasn't like, oh, he probably messed with some chick or something like that, or whatever the case may be. I need to go tell, hey, yo, something might be up. And then Rick could have been like, oh shit, you here? We gotta find. Hey, yo,
where's your friend?
Yo, where's Kyle?
Where's Kyle?
Like,
I thought it was weird that they didn't kidnap both of them.
Realistic. Hey, man, maybe he was messing with some chick around the corner. Like they're 17-year-old. Boys, and I'm just like these are tame 17-year-old boys, like you know what I'm saying? Like
so tame.
Yes.
And then like,
Dad, I just want your approval and you to be my mentor and friend.
And they're rich.
Yes. And like what? Dad, you're just a super producer and you don't understand the
17-year-old boys. They're the ones that are out there doing dirt.
Yes, and it's just like.
So you left your friend, which that doesn't make any sense. They're y'all best friends since childhood. You left him. Okay, let's leave that there. You didn't go
to the store to check up on him.
Right, you didn't go back to the store to check.
But he's saying, okay, maybe he thought he went back to the camp.
Yeah,
when you didn't see that he went back to the camp. When you see he wasn't at the camp, how does the story that who's like the I don't know. I'm like, how does the story that the wrong kid, like that your son was not kidnapped, even come out? Like,
So
how does it take 12 hours for it to get back?
Also, if it was the green bandana, so A$AP Rocky was sitting in the bleacher. I was like, well, why didn't they have a picture? Why? How did you know was the green bandana was the thing? So there's no reference to A$AP Rocky seeing him in a green bandana. There's
that boy was an idiot, because you know the exact bracelet that Denzel's wife is wearing on Instagram and everything. But you don't know your son that is also very popular on Instagram. You don't know what he looks like.
Exactly. That makes no sense.
But he did say, "Oh, I don't. That's why I don't send rookies to do." He said that they did try to clear that up with a lot. He was just like, "That's why you don't send the workers to do a boss's job or something like that." He
give him a picture, you idiot. Like, you give them the picture. You screenshot at least 4 pictures and give it to them. We live in a world of technology. Yeah. This ain't the 50s.
And apparently,
where we have to go off like word of mouth.
Scooters for you. It's not a small operation.
You know, niggas can. You got motherfuckers grabbing bags, giving it to one person, going back there,
grabbing bags, transferring bags, taking the rap. You know what I'm saying? Like
you got
there's so many things. Oh my gosh,
the engineers in on it, but not the engineers not worth a damn.
And then also,
not worth a damn.
My last point with this heist was, okay, I did say I did like the Puerto Rican Day Parade and then and the bag drop, but you've got at least 4 different motorcyclists. They're not in it. They're not in on this 17.5. So y'all didn't split this money.
Split this out.
It didn't make any sense.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. You can probably get a lot of people to do something for like 5-10 bands.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not really kicking that much money out
in the hood
and everything. So you be like, hey, look, I give you, all you gotta do is ride a bike, motorcycle.
Catch a bag.
All you gotta do is catch a bag. All you gotta do is this right here. 5, 10, maybe even 15, 20.
Let's say 15, 20.
15, 20 compared to 17 mil.
So wait, so when they looked under the bed at the girlfriend's house, wasn't it all full?
The 17? Money there. She said that it was all full 17 there. So it probably was something like, I'll pay these niggas when I want to, or he might be to be a bully.
Which is like what?
I mean,
I'm just gonna commit this crime and I'll wait about a week for you to pay. Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and then also
we gotta lay low for a little while. That's probably what he was telling. We gotta lay low for a little while.
Right.
I don't want y'all going out there splurging and then he'll come back to me and like, you know, he might. I mean, he's still an idiot.
But then that's what I'm saying, because we don't see him with that level of intelligence. And then I'm also like the dialogue of like, oh, when are my people gonna learn that you can't hide all your money under a mattress?
Like, that was unnecessary as
it just felt like it was from the 80s or something, man.
Just for her to sound old fashioned, and then for him for the mayhem guy to make a racist comment.
I guess, but he wasn't even being. He was just like, I can't tell you about your people.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why was that line written? Why are you?
Well, my people learn you can't put everything under a mattress.
Yeah,
exactly.
First place we're gonna look.
Yeah,
man, y'all, this was great.
Yes,
this was great. Thank you guys. This was great dialogue. I'm gonna send this to Mr. Rogers so he can put this up on his channel. And we got to be doing more of these. We've talked about this. We want to do him.
I just saw him. I got thoughts and feelings about that. Go see it.
I like it.
I like it. It
was cool.
As a Pop Warner, somebody that played Pop Warner, and I saw kids get abused and stuff like that. From
that angle, but I got some. It's some
red herrings and stuff
quite land for me too.
Fair, very fair.
Yeah,
but
I know like Marlon Wayans.
But worth a watch, Crystal.
I'm gonna watch him, and then we will schedule time to talk about him. I know I'm gonna like Marlon Wayans. I have a feeling I'm gonna love it. So we'll schedule time to review to review him, and then we're going to talk about some other things we want to go over too. So please stay tuned.
Spooky October, right?
Yeah, we're talking about Spooky October. There's some suspense stuff that I've been thinking of doing. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you guys.
I want to drop too.
Mr. Rogers, tell everybody where they can see you and people rewatch this.
Mr. Rogers Review on TikTok and Instagram. If you're on Facebook, I go by Rogers Review. They wouldn't let me put the Mr. there. I'm also on YouTube as well, Mr. Rogers Review. Check me out on there. Drop videos, honest opinions, quick binge lists for you can find something to watch at any time of the day. Appreciate y'all.
Go ahead, Joshua.
Joshua Horrsford produces on Instagram, Black Pop Films on TikTok, and I'm posting new video content and getting into more live content, more talking to people on the streets, more interviews and stuff.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Let me know. I would love to do that. That's what I've been. And I'm
okay, for sure. Yeah.
We can do some live on the street type stuff.
For sure, absolutely.
Crystal.Lynetta on Instagram and Facebook, and I need to do more TikTok. Mr. Rogers has been bugging me and motivating me to do more TikTok. So we got to get out there, and we're gonna be more consistent with this, because this was like there's a lot we can go over with it.
This was fun.
Reviewing some shows, and just this is also motivation for me because I'm a producer and a screenwriter. So we got to
get our own work.
Exactly.
Yeah. That drop too at the end of October, a little short project. Yeah. Little short horror project.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I talk my ish, but I'm, you know what I'm saying? Let people talk their ish about me too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen. Okay, so next show, we definitely gonna be pushing Joshua's project. So we want to know about it. So if you want, let's see. So we'll talk about it, advertise about it. We'll just say, hey, this is coming up, and then. If you want, we can do a little snippet on here.
Okay.
I would love to do that. So hey,
fun,
and then also send it to Mr. Rogers, and he will.
I still gotta send you my other one too,
and he'll review it.
I haven't forgotten about that.
We just said we got to build this table.
Yes.
We want this behind the screen and in front of the screen. Okay. Yes. So thank you guys. Hold on, don't go nowhere. But thank you guys, and stay tuned for more stuff from Mr. Rogers, Crystal, and Joshua. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was